Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we give all praise and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakudash.
The bonds to the apostles of GMS from Ruel, and shalom to the faithful men as always continue doing the work of the Lord. Alright, so Lord willing, continuing on the Bible series, we touched on the book of Ruth before. Now next, of course, is 1 Samuel. So, Lord willing, pretty much the theme of this, for this class, we probably gonna go through, summarize 1 through 14 and maybe 15, but most likely probably stop at 14. But pretty much the theme of this, what we about to touch on today is just showing how the Lord, how everything, because, like I said, the book of Ruth, how there was judges, and now, Samuel, he was a judge, and he had Eli too, first before Samuel. And then he had Eli, he was a wicked, because he wasn't rebuking his sons. We're going to touch on that. His sons was wicked, and Eli wasn't rebuking, so the Lord pretty much took him out of power and brought Samuel, the prophet Samuel, you know what I'm saying? And then you're going to see also, what's his name, King Saul, he wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. So then that's going to bring in King David, so two people lost power and the Lord gave it to somebody else. So that theme is going to be showed a lot, just pretty much just being obedient to the Lord. And if not, the Lord can get rid of you and replace you. Same thing with the truth. We can apply this today. If you a brother in this truth and you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, you ain't obeying the Lord, so on and so forth, the Lord can just easily replace you, As a matter of fact, real quick, can we get John, let me see. Say not Abraham is our father. Let me see. John. Hold up. Oh, my fault. Matthew 3 and 9.
Got you.
Well, matter of fact, you start at 7.
This is Matthew 3, verses 7. It reads, "But when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come to his baptism, he said unto them, O generation of vipers, who have warned you to flee from the wrath to come, bring forth therefore fruits meet for repentance, and think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you that the Most High is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham."
Right, so you can't think, we Israelites, Abraham's my father, I'm cool. Like, nah, the Lord requires certain things from us, and if you don't give it up, as it's gonna say, next verse.
Verses 10, it reads, "And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Therefore every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire."
Right, yep. If you ain't bringing forth good fruit, you're going to be hewn down, cut down, and cast into the fire. So Lord willing, we can go ahead and start with that commentary. Start at the beginning. Yep.
This is 1 Samuel 1 commentary under David Guzik study guide for 1 Samuel 1. This is the birth of Samuel 1 and 2. Form one book in the ancient Hebrew manuscripts. They were not divided into two books until the Old Testament was translated into Greek. We don't know who wrote the book. Certainly Samuel was a major contributor, but much of the book takes place after his death in 1 Samuel 25. They are called the books of 1 and 2 Samuel not because Samuel wrote all of them, but because they describe his great ministry in Israel and legacy of it.
You got it.
This is paragraph 1 or column A. It says Hannah's barrenness and her vow. 1 Samuel 1 through 2, it says the family of Elchanan. It says, "Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim of the mountains of Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tuha, the son of Zuphah, an Ephraimite. And he had 2 wives. The name of one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children."
Right, so real quick, we're going to go into the pretty much the lineage of Samuel, because it says Ephraimite. Wait, they wasn't Ephraim, but they was just living in that land.
Yep.
You know, they was from the tribe of Levi. So you can go to the letter B.
Column B, it says Elkanah, he was a descendant of Zuph, and his family line shows he was a Levite. 1 Chronicles 6:16 through 30.
And can somebody get that, pull it up, because we're going to skip around a little bit in that one.
Mm-hmm.
We said 30, 16, 30?
6, chapter 6, starting at verse 16
Here we go.
through 30.
We got it.
Want me to read it?
Yep.
It's 1 Chronicles 6. You say what?
16.
1 Chronicles 6:16. The sons of Levi, Gershom, Kohath, and Merari, and these be the names of the sons of Gershom, Libni, and Shimei.
Right. And we're going to touch on those three sons, because each of those sons, you know, they pretty much the Levites, they had different offices and jobs, and when they was dealing with the tabernacle, you know what I'm saying? But let me see. You can skip around a little bit. You can skip down to so like, matter of fact, keep going. 'Cause I'm gonna find where I want to be.
All right. And the sons of Kohath were Amram and Izhar and Hebron and Uziel. The sons of Merari, Mahil, Mali, and Mushai. And these are the families of the Levites according to their fathers. Of Gershom, Libni, his son, Jahath, his son, Zimah, his son, Joah, his son, Iddo, his son, Zerah.
What verse you at?
21.
Can you go to verse 35?
Verse 35. The son of Zuph, the son of Elkanah, the son of Mahath, or Mahath, the son of Amasai.
Right, just to show you right there, the son of Zaph, you know, just to show you that's going into Levi, you know. And then now, can somebody go into the article that I put on the Telegram? Because Samuel, he came out, because like he had three, because Levi had three sons, you know what I'm saying? What did he say?
Gershom, Kohath, and
Right.
Merari.
Right, and Samuel came out of Kohath, you know what I mean? But you got it, you start at the top of the article.
Yeah. The article from GotQuestions.org. It says the Kohathites, the Gershonites, and the Merarites were three clans of the Levite tribe in Israel, Numbers 26, verse 57. Each clan was
Can you read that verse real quick?
Yep. It says Numbers 26, 57. It's read in ASV here, if that's okay.
Come.
It says this was the list of the Levites according to their clans of Gershon, the clan of the Gershonites, of Kohath, the clan of the Kohathites, and Merari, the clan of the Merarites.
Mm-hmm. You got it.
Okay, it says each clan was comprised of descendants of the man from whom the clan received its name. It's like Kohath was the father of the Kohathites, Gershon was the father of the Gershonites, Merari the father of the Merarites.
Mm-hmm.
Kohath, Gershon, and Merari were the three sons of Levi and grandsons of Jacob. Genesis 46:11. Want that?
Now you good.
It says Moses, Aaron, and Miriam were Kohathites. 1 Chronicles 6, 2-3.
Come, you skip that too.
It says the Levites filled the priestly roles in Israel and bore the responsibility of caring for the tabernacle. The Kohathites, the Gershonites, and the Merarites had specific roles within the Levite culture.
Right, just like even like with Judah, you know what I mean? Because Judah had multiple sons, and who was it? Which one? I forgot which son's name. We gotta go into that too. I forgot his name. One, where is a line of Judah with the kings. Perez, they come. You see, but you got it.
It says the Kohathites, for example, had charge of caring for the objects associated with the sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
This is the service of the sons of Kohath in the tent of meeting, the most holy things. Numbers 4, verse 4-14.
Mm-hmm.
It says the ark of the covenant, the table of showbread, and other holy items were the responsibility of the Kohathites. Numbers 10:21. and 1 Chronicles 9:32.
You know, Jake can read that on your own just for the sake of time, but you got it.
This is the Gershonites took care of the decorations in the sanctuary, curtains, ropes, and coverings, Numbers 4:24-26. The Merarites had the task of maintaining and carrying from place to place the pillars, bases, frames, pegs, and cords that created the structure of the tent of meeting. Since the Israelites were often on the move, the tent of meeting often had to be taken up and moved. Each clan had its responsibility to the sanctuary of the Most High.
Come on, we can stop there. You know, just to show, you know, a little background on Samuel's family. You know what I'm saying? But oh, did you read the site name?
Yeah, what, got questions?
Oh yeah, come on.
Yeah,
Just in case, you know, brothers want to go into it more on your own time. But now we can stop there and then we can go. Let me see. If we go back to 1 Samuel. Somebody got that Samuel's pulled up.
Yeah.
I got it.
With the commentary or the book?
I got
The book.
I got the book.
Cause so pretty much I'm gonna summarize a lot because it's a lot, you know, just like I said for the sake of time. So pretty much, you know, just introduce, you know, Samuel's family, and pretty much Hannah, Samuel's mother, you know, she couldn't have children, so the Lord, you know, pretty much blessed her. You know, she was at the temple, Eli blessed her, and the Lord pretty much eventually gave Samuel. And then so, because she made a promise, you know, if you give me children, I'm going to let the child be yours. So Samuel was also, took the vow of Nazareth, what's it called, Nazarite? Nazarite vow, so he, you know, no razor to his head, so on and so forth. And then he started serving in the temple of the Lord, all right? But now we're going to skip down to, let me see, we can go to chapter 3, and we just read the first verse. Matter of fact, I think I must have skipped something in 2. Yeah, I forgot. Let's go to chapter 2, and then let's go to verse 20. Let me see. Let's start at 21.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 21. And the Lord Yahweh visited Hannah so that she conceived and bare 3 sons and 2 daughters. And the child Samuel grew before the Lord Yahweh. Now Eli was very old and heard all that his sons did unto all Israel, and how they lay with the women that assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Wait, so like, my fault. We gonna go back to that 21, but read verse 11.
All right. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 11. And Elkanah went to Ramah to his house.
Right, because also Samuel and his family was from the land of Ramah. All right, but you got it.
And the child did minister unto the Lord Yahweh before Eli the priest.
Mm-hmm.
Now the sons of Eli were sons of Belial. They knew not the Lord.
Right, the niggas is wicked, but you got it.
And the priest's custom with the people was that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest's servant came with, while the flesh was in seething, with a flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand. And he struck it into the pan or kettle or cauldron or pot. All that the flesh hook brought up, the priest took for himself. So they did in Shiloh unto all the Israelites that came thither. Also before they burnt the fat, the priest's servant came and said to the man that sacrificed, give flesh to roast for the priest, for he would not have sodden flesh of 3 but raw. And if any man said unto him, let them not fail to burn the fat presently, and then take as much as thy soul desireth, then he would answer him, nay, but thou shalt give it me now, and if now I will take it by force. Wherefore the sin of the young men was very great before the Lord, for men abhorred the offering of the Lord. But Samuel ministered before the Lord, being a child girded with a linen of ephod.
Right. We stopped there, then you can skip to 21. But you see Jake was being off, you know what I mean? And as you go even more further to show them what else they was doing. You know, but at the same time though, the Lord was still bringing up Samuel in the spirit. You know, like I said earlier, you know, the Lord can just replace you, you know, but you got it. You go to 21.
Yep, verse 21. And the Lord visited Hannah so that she conceived and bare 3 sons and 2 daughters. And the child Samuel grew before the Lord. Now Eli was very old, and heard all that his sons did unto all Israel. And now they lay with the women that assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he said unto them, Why do ye such things? For I hear of your evil dealings by all this people.
Right, and it's the same thing too today with these pastors. You know what I mean? They be sleeping with the damn, what they call it, the flock or whatever. The what's the other word?
Congregation.
Congregation. There you go, throw it. You know, then they be so much gossip in there too. You know, this woman committing adultery, that man, it's crazy. You know, it's the same shit. Jake has always been wicked. You see, but you got it.
Verse 24. Nay, my sons, for it is no good report that I hear. You make the Lord's people to transgress. If one man sin against another, the judge shall judge him. But if a man sin against the Lord, who shall entreat for him? Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto the voice of their father, because the Lord would slay them. And the child Samuel grew on and was in favor both with the Lord and also with men.
Right. So like, what verse you in?
26.
26. Let me see. Yeah, keep going.
And there came a man of the Most High unto Eli, and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Did I plainly appear unto the house of thy father, when they were in Egypt in Pharaoh's house? And did I choose him out of all the tribes of Israel to be my priest, to offer upon my altar, to burn incense, to wear an ephod before me? And did I give unto the house of thy father all the offerings made by fire of the children of Israel?
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore keep ye at my sacrifice and at my offering, which I have commanded in my habitation, and honors thy sons above me, to make yourselves fat with the chiefest of chiefest of all the offerings of Israel, my people.
Right, real quick. What's that? Love the creature more than the creation. I believe that's
Romans 1.
Can you get that real quick? You know.
This is Romans, the first chapter, and 1 second.
You know, and then while you're getting that, you know, like the brother said, what was it, last week? You know, we was just talking about other, you know, this camp business. You know, he was just saying, like, you know, this is a brotherhood, but it's business before everything. You know, because why? Because it's the father's business. And like Eli with his sons, you know, that's your sons. You love them, all that good shit, but you gotta remember the work of the Lord. You know, you can't get too personal, and you know, he should have been cussed them niggas out and kicked them out. You know, but he was being too lax on it. You found it?
This is Romans 1, and I'm gonna start at 24. It says, Wherefore the Most High also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of the Most High to a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who was blessed forever. Amen.
Right, the creature, which means something that's created. And your children is something created. Your woman, your parents, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? But you can't love them more than the Lord. That's why Yahweh Shai said that. He said, those that love their father and mother more than me is not worthy of me. Why? Because you're supposed to forsake them if you have to. Like this situation. You know what I mean? You can't let that personal business get in between the work of the Lord. You see? But we can go back to that 1 Samuel. You in chapter 3, right? Or 2?
2, verse 3.
All right, we can just go to 1 Samuel 3 and 1.
Right, so
Yeah, cause Matter of fact, cause like I said, it's just setting the scene. You know, he wasn't doing his job right, and now the Lord is pretty much removing himself from Eli, and this is going to show it. But you got it.
It's 1 Samuel chapter 3, verse 1. And the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli, and the word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no open vision.
Right, we can stop there. You know, there was no, the word of Yahweh was precious in those days. All right, when you read other translations, it goes into, it was rare, you know, and there was no open vision. The Lord started dealing with him, you know, not showing no prophecy, not showing no breakdowns pretty much. And Jake was through, you know what I mean? So now the Lord got to get rid of this and now put somebody in order so he can put Israel in order, which is up next is Samuel. Now he's about to start judging. And then if you, we don't gotta read the rest because, we don't gotta read the rest of this because it's, it pretty much goes into how the Lord start calling for Samuel. Because he was asleep and he kept calling his name and he thought it was Eli, but it was actually the Lord. And that's when the Lord started dealing with him heavy. But you got it.
Just to back up the elder, bro, like you said, ultimately, the Lord was raising up Samuel to establish the kingdom, via David.
Mm-hmm.
But this is Sirach 41, or Sirach 46, start at 12. It says, let their bones flourish out of their place, and let the name of them that were honored be continued upon their children. Samuel, the prophet of Yahweh, beloved of his Lord, established a kingdom and anointed princes over his people. Just to back up the elder, bro, like you said, that was pretty much Samuel's lot, in a nutshell.
Yeah.
That's it.
Kind of beautiful. As a matter of fact, and that's 1 Samuel 3, can you skip down to 18? Oh, no, 19?
This 1 Samuel 3, down, verse 19. And Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him, and did let none of his words fall to the ground. Mm-hmm. And all Israel from Dan even to Beersheba knew that Samuel was established to be a prophet of the Lord. Mm-hmm. And the Lord appeared again in Shiloh, for the Lord revealed himself to Samuel in Shiloh by the word of the Lord.
They should know my chosen, And they would say, everybody knew that he was established to be a prophet. And then you start to see, pretty much they was fearing him because they knew the word of the Lord was within them. You know what I'm saying? And hey, that's going to come back too. And these people are going to start realizing who the real prophets of the Lord is. But now we can go to that chapter 4. We can start at 1.
It's 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 4. 1 Samuel chapter 4, verse 1. And the word of Samuel came to all Israel. Now Israel went out against the Philistines to battle and pitched beside Ebenezer. Right.
And real quick, I'm going to show a map too. I'm going to have to send it to you. I don't think I'm connected to this thing yet. But let me send it over real quick. Because you gotta realize that you still have heathen amongst, around Jake. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying, in the land. Alright. Let me send it right now. Alright. So Jake still have to deal with them niggas. And this map is gonna show the battle between them, But you can keep going until,
And the Philistines pitched in Aphek, and the Philistines put themselves in array against Israel. And when they joined battle, Israel was smitten before the Philistines, and they slew of the army in the field about 4,000 men. Mm-hmm. And when the people were coming into the camp, the elders of Israel said, wherefore hath the Lord smitten us today before the Philistines? It says, let us fetch the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of Shiloh unto us, that when it cometh among us, it may save us out of the hand of our enemies.
Right, and you see Jake, this is, because when you read this, man, it's just like, it just shows Jake wasn't in the spirit, because you think, okay, let me go get the ark.
Get the ark and go
Right, but you ain't get no counsel from Samuel, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end, you did all that and still got fucked up, because you wasn't being obedient, you see? And you see, that's the journey. We can pretty much summarize it from here. Because they took it from Shiloh and they went to Ebenezer, and then they fought, and then the Philistines took it, stole it, and took it back to their land. You see, they still in the land over there in the coast, Ashdod. And then the Lord pretty much cursed them niggas, and you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then they pretty much were trying to give it back to Jake. And then Jake pretty much returned it into that land right there. What did it say? Kirath, Jerusalem? Until King David started reigning. You know what I'm saying? Then they moved it. They eventually moved it again. And then, even then, when Jake moved it over there, Jake was being wicked. Some Jake that wasn't supposed to be touching it tried to look inside, so the Lord killed some of those Jakes, But this just shows you the situation that was going on right now. There's wars going on, all Jake was surrounded. And so now, it's just like, you just see that Jake just needed some type of guidance. We need some type of ruler. And then, now we can go to chapter, because 5, 6, and 7 goes into how that journey we just see on the map. So we can go to chapter 8, verse 1, because that shows you Jake started, like I said, they needed some type of leader. That's when they start asking for a king. You know what I'm saying? But you got it.
It's 1 Samuel chapter 8 at the top. And it came to pass when Samuel was old that he made his sons judges over Israel. Now the name of the firstborn was Joel, and the name of the second was Abi. They were judges in Beersheba. And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after lucre, and took bribes and perverted judgment. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah, and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Most High, and the Most High said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people and all that they set up, all that they say unto thee, for they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them.
Right. Man. And so now, and that's the thing with that's something that we can learn from this lesson too, is that, hey, the Lord, one thing about the Lord, whether it's good or bad, he will give you what you ask for. You know what I'm saying? And then you get what you asked for, and then now you saw it, now you crying out to him and shit. But like he said, I ain't gonna hear you. Your king, matter of fact, is gonna say, you got it.
Is according to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods, so do they also unto thee. Now therefore hearken unto their voice, howbeit yet protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them. And Samuel told all the words of the Lord unto the people that asked of him a king. And he said, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself for his chariots and to be his horsemen, and sons shall run before his chariots.
Right. And so now it shows you like the eeriness of it. It's like, okay, you, like I said, I'm gonna get you what you want, but this is what you're gonna get, you know, and you're gonna see a couple examples of that. Even now, like today, we technically, you know, even though we got presidents and whatever, but they still technically kings and princes, pretty much. This is a modern day era. But your king can ask you, we about to go to war. Now we about to, what's the shit called, a draft and all this shit. Now you got to give your son up, and you don't know, this nigga can go get his head blown off, whatever, get fucked up. But you got to obey the order of the king, you know? So now that's what you want, so that's what you going to get. But you got it. This is more. You about to say something?
No, just,
Okay.
yeah, come on. Like you say, the Lord give you what you ask for.
Yeah, verse 12. And he will appoint him captains of thousands and
It's like my fault. But also, too, it's all through the Spirit because, you know, what the scripture says. Can you get that real quick? It says it a couple times, so it don't matter which one. It says, I'll make you a nation of kings and priests. You know, because technically it's all through the Spirit, you know, because we was all destined to be kings and priests from the beginning. But it still was just wicked the way Jake did it. You know what I'm saying?
Just like, you know, dealing with the blessing, you know, between Jacob and Esau was, you know, very controversial, you know, but it was all foreshadowing, you know, what was already going to come down the pipe, you know, concerning prophecy.
So I get that.
So you find it?
Oh, hold on. Okay.
Let's see.
I got you. Just get this one real quick. This is Revelation 5 and 10. Or let me start at 9. It says, And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us to the Most High by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, concerning Yahushua, and has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
Right, we're a nation of kings and priests. So like I said, this is predestined from the beginning. Even like Apostle Tahar went into that, you know, like pretty much, technically, Moses was a king, you know, technically, you know. But this was like the King Saul was like the first established, you know, king, you see. But we can go back to that 1 Samuel.
Verse 12. And he shall appoint him captains over thousands and captains over 50s, and will set them to ear his ground and to reap his harvest and to make his instruments of war and instruments of his chariots. And he will take your daughters to be confectionaries, and to be cooks, and to be bakers. And he would take your fields and your vineyards, even the best of them, and give them to his servants.
Salah.
You said what?
Says Salah.
Oh, come. You got it. Damn.
Good. Shalom, boy. How you doing, baby? All right.